the word multitask, use the word generous. Okay, and here's some examples of how to use some of these additional strength words. Let's kick it off with humble. I was humbled to have received the prize for coming first in my class. How to use. Notice how you're bragging but being humble at the same time. Let's kick it off with humble. Or if you think you might have come across as a little bit too confident, or God forbid, arrogant, which is the death nail, and you won't get a job if you come across as arrogant. If you think you came across as a little bit arrogant when you said something, you can do damage control right away. You can redeem yourself right away by saying this, or towards the end of the interview, thank you very much for your time. I'm humbled to just be considered for this opportunity. You can do damage control right away. Next word, ethical. Right away by saying the ethical business decision would be to blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much for your time. Talk about ethics somehow in your background. And even think about what was an ethical dilemma that you faced in your life. The ethical business decision in case they ask about it. And how did you deal with it? Okay. Again, turning weakness into a strength. Somehow in your background. Multitask. Even think about. Now we kind of covered this one, but you could say, I've always enjoyed staying busy, as I love to multitask. Again, turning weakness into a strength. Generous is the next one. You like to be generous with your time and help mentor others, or help mentor those that are less fortunate in the charities you're involved with. Generous is the next one. You like to be generous with your time and help mentor others, or help mentor those. Interview journal exercise number 3.2. Additional strength words to include in answers. So open up your journal, please. And for each of the strength words in this exercise, I want you to list 2 or 3 things that you have done in the past or about you that shows a good example of you using that strength word. And if you're having trouble, coming up with this exercise, then just write down a sentence using those terms. So, for example, for the word humble, you can write down, I'm very humbled to be given the opportunity to interview at this company because I am passionate about. So, for example, okay, and so I just want you to be ready to answer any type of question they can give you while using certain strength keywords that they will remember because I am passionate about. So, for example, okay, and so I just want you to be ready for any type of question they can give you while using that they will remember. Introduction to items to bring to the interview. Now that we've covered your strengths and your weaknesses, let's move on to what to bring to the interview. So, in this section, we will discuss what items you must bring and create to bring to the interview. Why? Because getting your dream job is very competitive. And if we're going to be preemptive and bring items others won't to the interview, then our chances of getting hired go up a lot. How are we going to do this? Well, I'll show you how to create incredible one-page documents. And you'll bring these items with you to the interviews. And you'll pull them out at the right time. And I'll explain how and why. And this will impress the heck out of the people interviewing you. Now, there's a number of templates included in this section. I'll talk about them in more detail soon. So, what's going to happen is the interviewers interviewing you will basically have no choice but to hire you because, heck, you're gonna prove to them that you're already adding value, and you're already doing the job now before you get hired because you've given them these handouts that prove that you can, and so you can hit the ground running. Who does this? Only you and nobody else. The job now before you get hired because you've given them these handouts that prove that you can. And so you can hit why this what to bring strategy has worked for me over and over and over again. Everyone shows up ready to answer questions, but nobody tries hard enough to stand out. Why this? So what to bring strategy? You need to always be thinking, how can I be different? How can I think different? Everyone shows up. How can I impress the interviewers in ways that nobody else does? Nobody thinks about going to an interview, okay, with the sole intention of helping the interview do their job better than others do. Okay, this is a very radically different concept. It's very disruptive. But I want to talk briefly about this great book that I read. It's called Give and Take. And the poorest 1% of people in the world are givers. They're wonderful people, like Mother Teresa. The middle 98% are takers, right? They just take. And the top 1% earners in the world, I'm not saying money is a primary representation of success, but we can quantify it. The top 1% of people in the world are givers, right? Give and you shall receive. And so it works this way in business. It's like barter. I mean, you're not exchanging money, but you're exchanging ideas. You're helping them. You give them an idea that helps them to progress in their careers or helps them to make money. I'll show you how soon. Or helps them to cut expenses so they look good. Okay, and these one-page write-ups that we're going to create in this section do exactly that. We're givers. We're givers. And if you give, you will receive. Okay, so if you help someone, they'll probably want to help you. If someone likes you, they'll probably want to help you. If you help someone and they like you, you got the job. Okay, and so later on we're going to talk about how the first 10 minutes or so of every interview is about bonding. So they can like you and you can like them. And the rest of the interview is about not just using strength words and answering questions the right way, but it's about helping them. Again, if they like you and you help them, then you should get the job. And so in this section, I'm going to teach you how to create different one-page documents, okay, that will help every person you're going to be interviewing with. Okay, and so we'll talk about likability later, but I just want to kind of help you with documents you're going to bring that'll help you. And so creating these one-page documents can take a little bit of time, but I really want you to be long-term greedy. Okay? I want you to be preemptive, proactive, and prepared better than anybody else is for this interview. I really want you to kick ass on this interview, knowing in your heart that nobody is more prepared than you are. And so this strategy has worked for me over and over and over again over the years. And it's also worked for many of my students that I've guided and mentored. They all get the top jobs of their dreams, regardless of their grades. So now, not only have people that I've mentored gotten the jobs of their dreams, but many of my students actually and employees have applied these concepts that I teach you in this course to interviewing at business schools, and they've gotten into Harvard Business School and many of the top 10 MBA programs. This system works. So I'll teach you how to create templates that will impress every type of person you're going to meet with in the interview. And you can choose to create just a template for a person that works in sales, or one that works in HR, or other departments. Every department. I'll teach you how to do this, okay? And you can choose, or even one that helps you interviewing in finance, or interviewing as an assistant, or interviewing for a management position. Or if you really want the job, and you think you might get interviewed on the same day by many people in the company working at many different departments, then you can go all out and make almost every type of template that I will show you in this section, and keep them all in your bag during the interview, and pull them out, pull out the right ones that feel right to you at the right time. Okay? Now, I have to reinforce the fact that every battle is won before it's been fought, which is why we're going to do a lot more work than anybody else preparing for the interviews. How badly do you want this job? I have to reinforce the fact that every battle is won before it's been fought, which is why we're going to do a lot more work than anybody else preparing for. Please open up your interview success journal and go to exercise 4.1, which is what to bring checklist for the interviews. I want you to bring 10 copies of your resume, as many times the interviewers that are interviewing you are very disorganized, right? And they don't have copies of your resume in front of you. And it makes you look prepared if you have them in your bag. Okay, don't pull it out unless they ask. Okay, and so we're going to cover how to create a very impactful resume and LinkedIn profile later in this course. So let's just use what you have right now, if you have one at all. Okay, I want to first cover all topics that can be asked of you in interviews. Okay, and that way, if we cover how to interview first, right, we reverse engineer the process, then we know what to put on your resume. I also want you to bring 3 NutriBars. And that way, if we cover how to interview 3 NutriBars, because many times the interviewers will forget to feed you. And sometimes you have back-to-back interviews, which is what happened to me at Goldman Sachs. And no disrespect to Goldman, but they forgot to feed me. And that's happened to me a number of times in my careers. And you can go to the bathroom, take a quick break, and eat the NutriBar, right? So that you have energy to be able to think clearly. I can never think on an empty stomach. Okay? It's happened to me many times. They forget to feed me, right? And I don't want to be that guy that asks for food in an interview, right? You just want to be a giver and not ask for stuff. Okay. So I also want you to bring 1 bottle of water container, which you can keep in your bag. Okay. And you can drink this in between interviewers if the interviewer forgets to give you water. This happens a bunch. Again, let's be ready as every battle is won before it's been fought. I want you to bring 1 notebook as you need to write down follow-up items in the interview. And we'll cover up how to deal with questions, what questions to ask interviewers later. Okay. And the brand that I recommend bringing looks like this on Amazon here. I know it seems like a little overkill here, but I don't want to take any chances, right? And as bizarre as it sounds, having the wrong pen even, right, can negatively impact your interviewer's perception. So these are the pens I suggest taking a look at. Again, I want to cover every angle, right, and make sure you get the job. I actually have a good friend that once used a pen with a logo on it by accident. It had a competitor's logo on it during an interview, and it made him look kind of bad. Okay, so I want to quote the late and great former CEO of Intel, Andy Grove, by saying that only the paranoid survive. As such, here's a safe option of types of pens and other stuff to buy from Amazon that can help you. And this type of pen here is a stylus as well, in case you're taking note on a tablet or on your iPad. And so a classy and conservative bag to carry for your interview is important, and big enough so you can put all your items in, but not too big that it looks ridiculous. And so here's an image from Amazon of a simplistic bag. And I'm not including the link here because you can find your own bag cheaper anywhere, but maybe find a slightly slimmer version of this as well. Okay. I also want you to purchase color-coded folders like these ones on Amazon, okay? Because I want you to look very organized, and you're going to have a number of different items, okay, in your bag, and I want you to be able to remember which ones to pull out when, okay? Okay, great. So let's move on to what templates to create and bring in your bag, per the next few videos in this course. And so bring 10 copies of each template that I'm going to show you how to create, okay? And watch all the videos in this section for more detail on how to create these. And please remember that we're doing this extra work because our competition will not. Think about people that seem more qualified than you do on paper. They might be lazy because their parents went to a great university and they got in because of that. And they feel entitled, right? You don't. You're going to work extra hard for this. Right? And though on paper they might look better than you, right, because they were born into a perfect family or whatever it might be, you're going to look better than they do in person, okay? So please note that less is always more. And your interview will really prefer a simple 1-page write-up on the following items and not a multi-page report. And the same goes for business reports that you give in general. Right? You'll find that if you have the summary on the first page and it's a 50-page report, people won't read the rest of it, just a summary. There's a reason why Twitter is successful. And only pull out these 1-page write-ups, please, that I'll be discussing in the next few lectures if you're asked about a topic that the template you complete covers, or if it feels appropriate for you to do so. And even during the Q&A section of this course, you can ask questions in a certain way where, I'll teach you later, you ask questions in a certain way and you know what they're going to ask you next. And you can preface it or answer a question a certain way where they might ask, well, give me an example of this. And then you pull it out of your bag. More on that later, okay? So trust me, nobody does this. And this will really make you shine and significantly increase your chance of getting hired. How badly do you want this job? So I've done this over and over and over and over again in my career, and it really, really works. You're going to amaze your interviewers. And this will all make perfect sense to you after you watch the next few lectures. Please open up your interview success journal. Go to 4.2. If you're interviewing for an investment job, make this. Consider making or completing a few investment idea templates on what your favorite investment ideas are. Okay, and this template is attached to this section. You can complete it yourself. It's in PowerPoint. It's really easy to complete. And then you just save it as a PDF. Okay, and they're very, very easy to fill out. Make them beautiful and easy to read. Don't put too much stuff on it. Put it in your bag in the right folder. Okay, and only pull it out